Imagine walking into a room. Before you say a single word, before you touch your phone, before you even decide what you're looking for, a machine already has a prediction. Not about millions of people, about you. Not because it can read minds, because you've already taught it how you behave. Every click, every pause, every purchase, every late-night search, every video you didn't finish, every notification you opened, every route you drove, every product you almost bought, every decision became training data. And eventually, those tiny signals became something far more powerful. A prediction. Not about what you did, but about what you're likely to do next. Today, some of the world's most valuable companies don't just collect information, they build prediction machines. Systems designed to estimate your next action before you've made it yourself. And the more accurate those predictions become, the more valuable they are. Because the future is no longer something companies simply wait for. It's something they're learning to estimate. People often imagine prediction as something mysterious. People often imagine prediction as something mysterious, a gift, an instinct, or perhaps a glimpse into the future. But prediction isn't magic, it's mathematics. Not because machines know the future, but because human behavior is far more consistent than most people realize. Every single day, billions of decisions are made around the world. Some are enormous. Most are almost invisible. Which route to drive, which video to watch, which message to answer, which product to ignore, which headline deserves another second. Every one of those tiny choices creates a pattern. One decision means almost nothing. Two decisions still reveal very little. But after hundreds, thousands, even millions, something remarkable begins to appear. Not randomness, consistency, hidden habits, invisible routines. Behavior starts becoming measurable. For decades, companies tried to understand customers using surveys, questionnaires, focus groups, interviews. They simply asked people what they wanted. The problem? People often don't know. Or they remember incorrectly. Or they answer differently from how they actually behave. Behavior tells a far more honest story. Not what people say they'll do, but what they repeatedly choose to do. Because actions leave evidence. And unlike memory, data rarely forgets. Imagine looking at a single star in the night sky. It reveals almost nothing. Now imagine looking at an entire galaxy. Patterns suddenly emerge. The same is true for human behavior. One action says very little. Millions of actions begin revealing predictable structures. This is where prediction truly begins. Not with artificial intelligence. Not with supercomputers. Not with advanced algorithms. It begins with patterns. Because once patterns become reliable, the future becomes easier to estimate. Not perfectly, but often accurately enough to matter. The question was never, weather machines could predict people. The real question was, how much behavior had to be observed before prediction became possible?
And the answer turned out to be far less than anyone expected.
The process begins with patterns. Patterns alone don't predict the future. Someone or something has to learn from them. Patterns alone don't predict the future. Someone or something has to learn from them. That changed when companies stopped asking a simple question, what happened? And started asking something much more valuable. What happens? Imagine watching someone walk into a supermarket. They buy coffee, milk, bread, then leave. Nothing unusual. Now, imagine watching that same person every week for 5 years. Suddenly, their routine becomes visible. Not because they're predictable, because consistency naturally creates probability. Artificial intelligence works in much the same way. It doesn't wake up one morning already knowing human behavior. It learns, one example at a time. Millions, then billions of tiny examples. Every decision becomes another lesson. Every outcome becomes another correction. Every interaction improves the model. Over time, the machine begins recognizing relationships. Not obvious ones, hidden ones. The kinds of connections human beings rarely notice. People who buy this often need that. People who pause here usually continue there. People who search this phrase often purchase something 3 days later. Tiny relationships, repeated millions of times. Prediction isn't certainty, it's probability. The machine isn't saying, this will happen. It's saying, based on everything I've seen before, this is the most likely outcome. That small difference changes everything. Imagine trying to predict tomorrow's weather using only today's temperature. Almost impossible. Now imagine having 20 years of weather records. Wind speed, humidity, air pressure, cloud movement. Suddenly, prediction becomes much more reliable. Human behavior works the same way. The machine isn't memorizing people. It's learning relationships. It notices which behaviors tend to happen together, which habits repeat, which decisions usually come next. The more examples it receives, the clearer those relationships become. Eventually, the system becomes surprisingly good at estimating what usually happens next, not because it understands emotion the way humans do, but because it has observed patterns far beyond what any individual person could ever remember. That's why prediction improves every single day. Every search, every purchase, every recommendation accepted, every recommendation ignored, every correction becomes another lesson. The machine never stops learning. And that's the real prediction machine. Not one computer, not one algorithm, but an enormous learning system, constantly improving every time someone interacts with it. Every interaction makes the model a little smarter. Learning is powerful, but by itself, it isn't worth billions. Its true value appears when prediction becomes a business. Prediction isn't valuable because it's impressive. It's valuable because it changes decisions. And in business, better decisions create enormous advantages. Imagine owning 2 stores. Both sell the exact same products. Both charge the same prices. Both serve the same number of customers. But one store knows what customers are likely to buy before they walk through the door. Which store wins? Almost every time, the one with better predictions. Prediction reduces uncertainty. And uncertainty is one of the biggest costs in business. Too much inventory wastes money. Too little inventory loses customers. Too many employees increase costs. Too few employees hurt service. Prediction helps companies prepare before problems appear. Think about navigation apps. Millions of drivers moving in different directions. Road conditions constantly changing. Traffic appearing and disappearing. The system isn't simply showing where traffic exists. It's constantly estimating where traffic is likely to form next. That prediction saves time, fuel, money every single day. Streaming platforms work the same way. Every recommendation is a prediction. Not, here's a random movie, but based on everything we've learned, you're likely to watch this next. If the prediction succeeds, you stay longer. If you stay longer, the platform becomes more valuable. Banks use prediction to identify unusual transactions. Hospitals use prediction to estimate patient risks. Manufacturers use prediction to anticipate equipment failures. Airlines use prediction to optimize schedules. Supply chains use prediction to move products before demand even arrives. Prediction isn't limited to technology companies. It's quietly becoming infrastructure for entire industries. That explains why prediction systems have become one of the most valuable competitive advantages on Earth. Because every company faces the same question: what happens next? The faster and more accurately they answer that question, the greater their advantage becomes. For decades, businesses competed using size. Then, they competed using speed. Today, many compete using prediction. Not because prediction guarantees success, but because seeing possibilities before competitors do changes everything. And this creates a fascinating reality. The companies shaping the modern world aren't simply collecting information anymore. They're constantly transforming information into forecasts. Millions of tiny predictions running every second, quietly guiding products, services, logistics, advertising, recommendations, and increasingly, human decisions themselves. Prediction transforms information into better decisions. But perhaps the most surprising part isn't that prediction exists. It's that most people never realize. But perhaps the most surprising part isn't that prediction exists. It's that most people interact with prediction systems every single day without ever noticing. Every recommendation is a prediction. Every advertisement
is a prediction. Every suggested video, every search result, every product you suddenly notice. Behind each one, a system is quietly estimating what you're most likely to respond to. Sometimes, the prediction is correct. Sometimes, it isn't. But every result teaches the system something new. Ignore an advertisement? The model adjusts. Watch an entire video? The model adjusts again. Search for something unexpected? Another lesson. The machine is always learning. This doesn't mean the system controls people. It means the system becomes increasingly better at estimating which possibilities deserve attention first. Prediction influences probability, not certainty. That difference matters. That's an important distinction. Prediction doesn't eliminate choice. It simply changes which choices are placed in front of you first. And over time, small changes in attention can produce surprisingly large differences in behavior. Two people can open the exact same app at the exact same moment, standing in the exact same room, and still see completely different worlds. Not because reality changed, because prediction became personal. Every search, every pause, every click, every conversation with the system slowly builds a different model for every individual. Eventually, the prediction system stops asking, what do people usually do? It begins asking, what is this person most likely to do? That small change transforms everything. Without realizing it, people slowly begin living inside different information environments, different recommendations, different advertisements, different news, different conversations, different digital experiences, all quietly shaped by prediction. Prediction gradually becomes personalization. Prediction isn't good. Prediction isn't bad. It's simply a tool. The real question depends on who controls it. Prediction isn't good. Prediction isn't bad. Like every powerful technology, its impact depends on how it's used. The same prediction system that recommends a documentary can also help doctors detect disease earlier. The same prediction engine that suggests products can also help engineers prevent equipment failures. Technology itself doesn't choose the outcome. People do. The real question has never been whether prediction exists. It already does. The real question is whether we understand that it's happening. Because the most powerful systems are often the ones people stop noticing. Until one day, they quietly become part of everyday life. Perhaps the most remarkable prediction machine was never built to predict the future. It was built to learn from the present. One decision, one interaction, one moment at a time. Every interaction becomes another lesson. Prediction is no longer science fiction. It's quietly becoming part of everyday life. The question isn't whether machines will continue learning. They will. The question is whether we understand what they're learning from. Because every search, every scroll, every pause, every click teaches something. And together, those tiny moments are shaping systems that become a little smarter every single day. But prediction is only one piece of a much larger system. Because once companies become incredibly good at predicting human behavior, another question appears. Why would they spend billions building these prediction engines if most of their products are completely free? In the next documentary, we uncover the hidden business model behind the modern internet, the system that transformed free apps into some of the most valuable businesses in human history.